Hi, I'm Ali and welcome to the China Repair Studio. So today I thought I would just do a quick demonstration of a DIY version of Kintsugi, which is quite easy and simple and a method I use probably most of the time with Kintsugi. But before I do, if you haven't subscribed before, please subscribe, please like and please share. So as you can see here, I do have a pair of 18th century tea strainers in a willow pattern, and they're made of porcelain. They're extremely fine and delicate, and I've had these now for around 15 or so years. Now when I bought them, I had bought them and they were, to be honest, in a very sorry state, and they were badly damaged here and here, and I filled them in with a product called Milliput in a superfine white, and I've sanded them and I kind of left them, to be honest. So as you can see, over a period of time they've gone a slight yellow, they've discoloured, and so I thought I would actually paint them in these parts here where they have cracked and the spare pieces put in place. I thought I would actually cover them in gold and do a little kintsugi effect. So what we're going to do first is we are going to set our table up. So I do have a proper, get some kitchen roll. Just make sure that you are actually covering your surfaces and protecting your surfaces. I do have a section of paint brushes. Now, when it comes to painting, and I have already done a video on this, when it comes to brushes, I do like to use sable brushes, or at least a sable mix, and various sort of thicknesses of brush. And then I've also got just a very cheap brush in which I can just distribute the product into a bottle top. Now, bottle tops I'm always collecting. They're really useful for mixing up glue and paint, and in this case it's going to be mixing up the gold leaf product. Now it's basically a gold paint. It is I would say quite toxic. It's not water based, so you will need a cup with some with some washing liquid, just so you can wash your brushes afterwards. But more importantly, make sure that you're in a very well ventilated room, and even a mask, just so you're not breathing in any of the toxins here. So what we're going to do first is we're just going to take our liquid leaf and put it in to our little bottle top here, using just a cheap brush here. Now, I just want to sort of go through Kintsugi first. Now, Kintsugi is actually known as the Golden Repair, and it's a Japanese art form of repairing broken pottery in China. Originally, it was used with tree sap, and it was dusted with real gold powder. Obviously, these days, if you want to do that, that's fine, but this is definitely a lot cheaper and an easier version. And the version we're doing here is what they would call the crack method. Now I'm just going to give this a little stir around and then put it into here. Now the crack method is basically when you are painting on with minimal lacquer, which results in, I don't know, sort of golden veins, or as in this case, where it has been broken. There is another way which you could do and use, and that is called the piece method, and that is where you use an epoxy, a glue, and with that you would mix it with a gold powder. Here I do have a gold powder actually, which I have tried when I have mixed it with the epoxy glue, which I, to be honest, tend to use a slow release araldite, but I've got to say I wasn't very impressed with the colour. I thought it was the colour for me, although it looks great in gold, it turned out to almost be quite like a sludgy toffee colour. So, and it was quite messy. I prefer using the golden leaf. But with this, you can actually use it with glue and put in missing pieces, and you can also stick the glue together and then sand personally I prefer to just use Milliput and Liquid Leaf. Liquid Leaf also, just very quickly, does come in other colours, so you don't have to use, doesn't have to be gold. Depending on your item, you can also use something such as silver or platinum, which depending on what you've got. So here we are, we have our paints here. So I'm just going to probably use two brushes, a larger brush for some of the larger areas, but I've got a very fine brush for some of the smaller areas. So let's get the fine brush first. And you just want to just dab a little bit in. And then just look to where it needs to be done. And just very carefully. Now you don't want to put too much product on, because once it's in place, it dries quite quickly and you will never get it off. But if you can see there, it's just a lovely little gold. I would probably start first of all, to be honest, from the inside and then work my way round. And then I can see another piece here. And you want to go very slowly and methodically, so you don't overload and don't keep going over too much. Okay. Actually, we'll go around this way. You don't want it to drip, so you don't want too much there. Make sure it goes and joins. This is just a very small amount here. And again, just blend in. Make sure when you are doing a piece like this that you don't end up, whilst you're doing the other side, touching what you've originally painted. Otherwise you could end up with smudge marks. So next bit, just want to do this part here. So I'll probably, actually we'll try the smaller one first. If it's too small, we can always change to another brush. Actually, that's fine. Probably start off with a large. Once it's dried, if you have missed pieces, you can always go back. You just want to very carefully. So the main thing is not to actually have it dripping. And make sure where we've already touched our item, and we're going to go round to the back here. It's just say it's quite a big space here. Obviously, if you just have small cracks, it would be easier because you can just, go along the cracks. And if you can use a very small brush like this with a good point, it's really useful. On the rim. So because it's such a large amount here, on this part, I would probably go over it again a second time once it's completely dried. So as I say, now it gets quite tricky because obviously we've got this part here and we've already painted bits on this side. So we want to make sure that we're not touching any of the previous. So I'll probably do that. And as you can see, it's starting to dry up already in the in my bottle top, so it dries extremely quickly. Just move it at different angles as and when you feel you need to, and just go along. See there, so holding it at an angle at the moment, so I don't want to touch anything else I've already done there. There we go. And then again, I would then make sure it's not too thick because I don't want it to drip. And then just go along the rim. And back on this side. This is a very quick and easy method, and it looks great as well. So because it's quite a large expanse, I'll probably again will go over again, and then we'll just keep looking, checking. Now what I will do is I'm going to leave this to dry for a good quarter of an hour, and I'll probably go over it again just to make sure that I haven't got any bits which are, I've missed, which I can see through. Again, you don't want to go too thick on it, otherwise you will end up with drip marks, which you won't be able to get rid of. So you just want to go carefully with that. And I'm just going to do this one here. Now, as you can see, it's just 2 parts here, missing here and here, and I think just on the other side. So again, I would just take my gold lacquer here and just slowly go across. Just say, don't make it too thick. And remember, when you are doing this, to actually breathe, it's very easy to hold your breath. Which I do tend to do quite a lot when I'm doing things like this. I think it gets, I sort of feel could be slightly steady, but that's better. Okay, so that's that side. And then again, we just finish off on this side here. So I would just do this. It's a shame I haven't got any veins on here, as in, any cracks which I could have fixed as well. But, if you do have a plate with, residual cracks, again, you could just use this method and you'd have lovely gold lines. Now, I do have a website, and I will try to find, obviously in the UK and also on the .com Amazon site, I will try to find this product, and I will link it on my website, which is in the description box. Right, we're almost there. I mean, obviously with this, it's not completely straight. It's all sort of wiggly lines, which actually makes it more interesting. Okay. Make sure we've got the edge. So there we are. Easy DIY kintsugi. And again, once you've used this, definitely straight into your mixture here. Otherwise, you'll never get it out. So there we are. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Please like and please share. And hopefully I will see you on the next one. Okay, bye.